No mom wants to see their baby balding or losing hair. That's just not something that any mom is excited or happy about. Believe it or not, this is quite common. In today's video, I'm going to be talking you through some of the reasons why your baby could be balding or losing hair. Hey NC fam, welcome back to my channel. So for those that don't know me, my name is Novella. I am the face, the voice behind Naturally Crowned UK, and on this channel you will find kids natural hair care tips, advice and tutorials to help your little one's hair thrive like I know you all want it to. Okay mamas, I know and understand how you're feeling. But trust me on this, if your little one's hair is balding or they're losing hair, it is a phase. This too shall pass. You've heard me say this in a couple of my videos, and honestly, if I can give you some hope, this is it. Don't you dare worry about your baby balding or losing hair. Don't worry about it. Don't stress. Don't go looking for growth oils, growth potions, growth products. It isn't going to work. It might even just make things worse. Instead, let's talk about the possible reasons why your baby may be balding so that you have the knowledge. Once you understand the possible reasons why your baby can be balding, then we can put measures into place to help with length retention or seek professional help from a dermatologist or trichologist, for example. But the most important thing is to find out why your baby's balding in the first place. Okay mamas, so if your baby is balding or losing hair, it could be down to two things. The first thing is internal, secondly external reasons. So let's look at the internal reason why your baby could be losing hair or balding. Okay, so the first internal reason, it could be that it's hormonal. So I'm not sure if you've heard of something called telogen effluvium. Now with telogen effluvium, during pregnancy, some of these hormones that you have as a pregnant mother will pass on to your baby through the placenta and circulate around your baby's body. Now shortly after birth, these hormone levels in your baby's body will start to drop. Now if your baby was born with a full head of hair, shortly after you're going to start to notice some hair loss. It's the same thing that happens to mothers. I'm sure you've heard of postpartum shedding, right? Same thing. Shortly after you give birth to your baby, around the 2 or 3 month mark, you also start to lose clumps of hair. You start to lose your edges. It's the same reason why your baby also loses hair. And telogen effluvium is basically hair loss after a stressful event. So when it comes to mothers who have given birth, of course your body has been through a lot, it's been under stress, it's been under shock, and this causes us also as mothers who've just had babies to lose hair. And with telogen effluvium, you start to notice this hair loss around 3 months after that stressful event. So this is the same thing that your newborns also go through. After you've given birth to them, they also start to lose hair because they've also been through a stressful event. So with your newborn, you start to notice that they're losing hair or balding around the 2 month marks. From 6 months onwards, you should start to notice that things have settled and they're no longer losing any hair, and you should also start to see that their hair is growing back quite nicely after this point. If your baby spends a lot of time laying on their backs, you may notice a larger bald patch due to telogen effluvium because they're spending so much time laying on their backs. Mamas, don't panic if you see scattered hairs in their cot or in their car seat, for example. You may see like scattered shed hairs around. Don't panic, this is all part of the telogen effluvium stage. There's nothing to be scared of. What's most important is that if your baby is going through telogen effluvium, it's really important that you have good regime in place and good hair care practices. It's really important the external factors, which we're going to talk about in a second, you have to make sure that the external factors aren't going to make things even worse. Now of course, I know you probably have a question of if you can avoid balding or hair loss completely. You can't completely avoid hair loss or balding if it's for internal hormonal reasons like telogen effluvium. However, you can ensure that it isn't worse than it needs to be. Now, with the external reasons, this is something that you actually can control. So mamas, before we continue, if your baby is balding or losing hair, just click the link below this video and download your free checklist. In this checklist, I go through the points that I'm talking about in this video, plus some additional tips for you. For the second internal reason that can be causing your baby to lose hair or bald, it could be nutritional deficiency. So for example, a deficiency in vitamin D or iron. Now with nutritional deficiencies, this is something that you will be able to control to a certain extent by giving your body what it's deficient in. Once you're able to give your little one what they're deficient in, you will start to see that the hair loss will subside and you won't see the hair loss any longer. What I would recommend is that you see your GP if you're in the UK, your practitioner, your doctor, if this is a concern for you, to find out if your little one is actually deficient in any vitamins. And if they are, like I said, there's no need to panic. Your doctor, GP will be able to help you resolve that issue. So if your baby is 6 months and over, then it's most likely that they're not going through telogen effluvium. They're possibly losing hair or balding, especially also if they're not going through any kind of nutritional deficiencies. Then it's most likely that they're balding or losing hair because of external reasons, which I will talk about in a second. But if they are 6 months and under, then it's most likely due to telogen effluvium. So depending on what age your baby is right now will depend on what possibly is the cause, external or internal reasons. So when it comes to external reasons, unlike internal reasons, external reasons are things that you can actually control. So you can control this to prevent or minimize hair loss or balding in your baby. The first external reason why your baby may be balding or losing hair is that they're laying in the same spot, particularly on their back. They're laying in the same spot continuously. Now if that's the case, you may notice that your baby is balding or losing hair. So what I would say is encourage supervised tummy time. And also, if you can, maybe switch your baby's position so they're not always laying on their backs. The other reason why your baby could be losing hair or balding could be due to the fact that your baby is pulling their hair out themselves. Now a lot of babies do pull their hair out themselves, usually because they're hungry, they're tired or frustrated. I mean, I don't know why babies will be frustrated at that age, but some of them do get frustrated, and when they are frustrated they tend to pull their hair out. If they're hungry, if they're tired, this can frustrate them and make them want to pull their hair out. Your baby pulling their hair out normally is a phase and not something to worry about, but if you do see your baby pulling their hair, just remove their hands as they're pulling their hair, and of course keep their hair well moisturized, lubricated, so when they are pulling their hair they aren't able to get a good grip and really pull their hair out. That's one thing I used to do with my children when I noticed they will pull their hair, is I just make sure that their hair is well moisturized and lubricated so they aren't able to grip on to the hair and pull their hair out. And also when I would see them pulling their hair, I would just take their hands off so they're not able to do it. Of course at night you're not able to see to do this, but in the daytime if you see this, just make sure you just remove their hands from their hair so they aren't able to pull their hair. The next reason, it could be that your baby is losing hair because of tight styles. Literally can cause a lot of tension and can cause breakage. At no point should you be doing tight styles that cause a lot of tension on your baby's hair at any age, but particularly with your babies under the age of 6 months old. You definitely don't want to do any tight styles. Their scalps are so fragile, so sensitive, and by doing this you're more likely to cause a lot of tension, and if there's tension you're more likely to cause their hair to break off, cause hair loss and to cause balding. So for your children under the age of 6 months, no tight styles, literally just leave their hair as it is. If they have a fro, just leave their fro as it is. As the hair gets longer, you'll be able to do simple protective styles like twists or plaits, for example, and that's mainly because they could be going through telogen effluvium. Remember what I said to you before, that with telogen effluvium it lasts up until about the age of 6 months. So because of this, you don't want to do anything that's going to cause any kind of tension. They're already losing hair, they're already balding. By doing this, it's going to make matters even worse. Mamas, don't forget to download your free checklist, your free baby balding and hair loss checklist. In this checklist, I basically go through what I'm talking about in this video, plus some additional tips to help you further. So click the link below this video to download your free checklist. Now, the other external reason that could be making your baby lose hair or bald is not protecting their hair at night. Now, if your baby is under the age of 1, I would recommend satin or silk fitted sheets in their cot. If they're in their car seat, a satin or silk scarf to protect their hair where they lay. In their prams, their pushchairs, a silk or satin scarf in their prams or pushchairs, again to protect their hair from balding and hair loss. The other external reason that could be causing your baby to lose hair or bald, it could be that you are over washing your baby's hair. So maybe you're washing your baby's hair on a daily basis, and then you're also using harsh shampoos. So in this case, what I would recommend is that you wash your baby's hair once a week. Once a week is more than enough, and also you're using a gentle shampoo on your baby's hair. The next reason, it could be that your baby is losing hair because of cradle cap. Now, cradle cap doesn't necessarily make your baby lose hair or bald. However, if you're removing the cradle cap in the wrong way, your baby's probably going to lose hair. I do have a cradle cap video already on my channel. I'll probably leave it in the cards on the top right hand corner. Take a look at that video for some tips on cradle cap. But it's really important, if your baby has cradle cap, for you to not try and lift the flakes off just like that. If you do that, as you're lifting off the flakes, you're going to lift off their hair as well. So it's really important that you are removing the cradle cap the right way. But I'm not going to go into that in this video, as I already have a video on cradle cap. But this could be another reason why your baby is losing hair or balding, because of your technique of removing the cradle cap from your baby's scalp. Like I said, their scalp is very sensitive and delicate, and when they have cradle cap, the cradle cap tends to stick on their scalp. So it's important that you remove the cradle cap effectively so that they're not losing any hair. And the final external reason why your baby could be losing hair or balding is because their hair is dry. Now, if you don't have the right regime in place for your baby, you're not moisturizing when your baby's hair needs it, you're not using the right types of products for your baby's hair, you may find that your baby's hair is dry. And if your baby's hair is dry, it's more prone to breakage. And if it's prone to breakage, you're probably gonna notice that they're losing hair or they're balding. So it's really important that you have a good regime in place and you're doing the right things for their hair care, so that they're not losing hair and so that they're not balding. If you enjoyed this video, check out this video right here to find out why your little one's edges could be breaking off. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and share if anyone you feel may benefit from watching. Take care guys, bye.